You probably know the expression, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Well, that is definitely true for visitor management. That first experience you get as a visitor when you enter an organization will give you that first impression about the company, what they stand for, their security culture and the like. And the average experience today is not that great. You've probably gone through this experience. You enter the lobby, you walk up to the lobby desk, you write out your name, or a little better, you have to enter your first name, last name onto a tablet, and then you get some sort of a sticky badge which you have to put onto your clothes. Sticky badge falls off after a couple of minutes. Not that great of a first experience. Compare that to what we develop here, which we call a digital badge holder for visitor management. With this device, you change that visitor management experience in 3 different ways. First of all, using these digital badge holders, we will give a visual reassurance, as we call it, that a visitor was correctly registered and is authorized to be at your premises on that given day. The sticky badge doesn't tell you anything about, is that person actually authorized to be here at this point? Maybe that sticky badge is a week old, you cannot see that. With this badge holder, at the time of registration, this device is turned on, shows this green light for the duration of the visit, and that gives that visual validation for everyone in the building that that visitor is authorized to be on site. The second thing that these digital badge holders do is something that is truly unique in the industry. It allows to enforce what is known as host visitor escort policies. A lot of organizations have a policy that says a visitor needs to stay with their host at all times. It's a very good practice, but how do you enforce that? With this technology, you can. By means of these digital badge holders, we can do what we call tethering, virtually linking visitors to their host, and throughout the visit, monitor that the visitor stays in proximity of the host. I will demonstrate that to you in just 2 minutes from now. And then the last thing that these digital badge holders allow you to do is monitor the presence of those visitors once they are beyond the lobby. Because with traditional visitor management solutions, you lose all visibility once the visitor is inside. By means of these RightCrowd gateways, which you can optionally put within your organization, within the building, you can monitor where visitors go. Now, don't misunderstand me. We're not talking about a real-time location service whereby we track exactly where a visitor goes. That's not what this solution does. But what it does do is by area, by zone, monitor whether or not a visitor is seen. So as an example, you may have an R&D department and you do not expect visitors to go into that R&D department. By installing a gateway into that area, we will continuously monitor whether or not visitors are in that proximity of that gateway device you installed. And if that is the case, a security event will be generated, which allows you to take action. So if I summarize the 3 unique capabilities that these digital badge holders add to your visitor management experience, first, visual reassurance that the visitor was registered correctly. Secondly, the ability to ensure and have a full audit trail of the fact that visitors stay with their host. And then last but not least, the ability to monitor where visitors go and take action if they would enter restricted areas. What we're going to use for this demonstration is the following. First of all, we're going to use my personal digital badge holder with my badge inserted. And then we're going to use 2 digital badge holders with visitor badges inserted. So we're going to mimic a visit whereby me being the host, it's going to pick up 2 visitors. We're going to go through a visit and then return to the lobby. The second thing I'm going to use is a RightCrowd app, which we developed, which is available for both iOS and Android. I'm going to share my screen now so you can see the application. This application can run either on the host's mobile phone or can run on a tablet that sits at the reception desk. So what I'm going to do as a host is I'm first going to log in. I'm not going to have to remember a username, password, etc. We made this very straightforward. You can see the little button here, sign in with wearable. I click on that, and the only thing I need to do is bring my badge close to the phone, to the screen, and now I'm signed into the application. And the only action required from my end is ask my visitors to simply bring their respective badge holders close to the screen. Visitor number 1, visitor number 2. And as you can see, we now have the 2 visitors linked to myself. Now, the distance that those visitors need to respect, so the distance, how far away they can go from me, is a simple software setting in the dashboard that comes with this service. So as you could see, starting or using this tethering functionality is extremely straightforward. At the start of the visit, I simply sign in using my personal wearable, and then I ask the 2 visitors to put their badge holder close to the screen, and that's it. Throughout the entire visit itself, there is no action at all required by either the host or the visitor. So it's a very, very easy solution to use. What we're going to do next is mimic an event whereby a visitor would leave me being the host. So to do that, I'm not going to run away from the camera, but instead I'm going to use a little trick. I'm going to put one of the 2 badge holders into a metal box, which is the equivalent of the visitor going too far away from me. So let me put that into the box and then close the box. And what you can see on the screen is that the visitor badge holder first went amber and then red blinking. And the same on my badge holder, you can see a red blinking sort of sign that is warning me, hey, be careful, 1 or more of your visitors left the group. Going to take the badge holder back out of the metal box. And as you can see, the badge holder of this visitor went back to green, same as for my own badge holder, went back to a steady green state, showing that all is fine. The only action required from me, being the host at the very end of the visit, is simply hit the stop button. When I hit the stop button, you will see that it now removes the tethers and the visit is over. So again, I want to emphasize from a usability perspective, super straightforward, no action required throughout the entire visit, just at the very beginning, initiating that tethering function, and at the end, hitting the stop button. What I'm going to do now is go to the security dashboard to show you the type of reporting that comes with this solution. So we're now logged into the RightCrowd dashboard, and I'm going to go to the tethering function. And this brings us to a screen that gives us an overview of all of the visits. At the top, you see 2 filters. First of all, we have a filter for the location. So you can say, I'm only interested in the visit that took place in, for example, my headquarter building or a certain remote office. And I have a second filter that is a time filter. So you can select visits from the last week, the last month, or any given sort of interval that you're interested in. For this location and for this time period, you will then get an overview of all of the visits that took place. The first column you can see the host. In this case, we represent the host by an employee number. You can see the location, the start date, the duration of the visit, the number of visitors in the session, and whether or not there were any incidents whereby we had a visitor going too far away from the host. If I zoom in on the first one here, you can see that in the visit that we just did, I was the host. You see the sort of start and end time stamp and then the duration. And if we click on the visitor 68, we can see that there was an incident, a tether broken incident that took place that lasted 38 seconds. So in this reporting, you have all of the information available that you might need for either an internal or an external audit. You have a full audit trail of all of the visit, number of visitors, and whether or not there were any incidents. Now in practice, you probably use a policy, something like the following. If you see visits whereby 1 or more tether broken incidents took place, you would look at how long was that, and if it is, as an example, more than 2 minutes, you could reach out to the host and ask for an explanation of what happened. But so in summary, a solution that is extremely easy to use. It can be rolled out within hours. It really enhances the visitor management experience for your visitors, but also for your organization. And it gives you a lot of additional security and audit trails just as part of that solution. That was a quick overview. I hope this was useful. If you would like to have more information, don't hesitate to reach out to RightCrowd or go to our website, rightcrowd.com.